Hello, I am thrilled to be actually in the same room as someone this time. We're in the studio, we're socially distanced, and my next guest is Gail Horton. Welcome, Gail.
Thank you, Jean.
Thank you for coming in today.
It's my pleasure to be here.
Today we're talking about your particular story, which is fire.
Yes, when the topic came up this year was resilience, and then of course we had all those awful fires anyway in New South Wales and other places, and I was wondering whether it would be appropriate, because mine was such a small fire in amongst all the disasters that were happening, but it was still raw to me, so that was why I was thought, well, maybe I should write it now. Yeah.
And the resilience that that you experienced, well, that you convey in that story, do you think that resilience is specific to you?
As I've become older, of course, I've become more resilient. And also, as you get older, you realise that what other people's opinion doesn't matter as much. You know, you can be your own person. You don't need other people to define who you are. And I think as you get older, that resilience comes in many forms, just in your day-to-day life. Yes.
How important is storytelling to you? Have you used it a lot in your teaching?
I've used it a lot. Even when my own children were small, I used to write little stories for them when they were beginning readers. But I think storytelling, it's educational. It's also, it teaches people things. It also teaches you behaviours. Now, even right back to the Little Red Riding Hood, don't go in the woods because of the big bad wolf, and even Ring a Ring a Rosy, you know, you'll get the plague. Now, all of our stories from history have all meant something, and so our stories today should mean something as well.
Is storytelling, writing your stories like this story, is this something you've come to recently, or you've had the stories for your children, but is it something you might do more of now, do you think?
Yeah, when I first went overseas, before I had the internet, I was writing stories every month because I was living in quite different places to Australia, and everything I saw, thought, smelt and witnessed all went on paper, and it was sent to all my family and my good friends, and it just went from there. And some months they might have been 30 or 40 pages long with accompanying photographs. Yeah.
Are you inspired by a particular author?
No, there's not really been any particular writer. My taste in reading is different to my writing taste. I like mysteries and things that make me think, whereas when I write I tend to paint pictures.
Gail, do you think that writing helps break down stereotypes that people might have about seniors in our community?
I think so, because when you read something you don't necessarily know how old or how young that person is. But I've learnt now that since I've become old and decrepit, that you get to a certain look, you've got wrinkles and your hair changes colour, and you actually become invisible in society. You know, nobody sees you in the line. All these other young, lovely-looking things get put in front of you, and suddenly you're the last person left in line, so yes, you get attended to. But with writing, nobody knows who you are or what you are, but all they know is your words, and words are very powerful, whereas looking at a person is not quite as powerful.
You would have seen incredible examples of resilience in the communities you've worked in.
Yes, yes. Yes, I found probably the best resilience I ever saw was when I was working with the Yazidi immigrant, or they were internally displaced children, and they had to flee from being bombed, and we were looking after their families and educating the children of a weekend, and they were so stoic, and they were just amazing people, yes.
How has your experience of resilience changed over a lifetime?
I've learnt that it doesn't matter if I stumble and fall down, and it doesn't matter if I succeed, because life just goes on.
What is your advice to other people on making the most of life despite challenges?
Just embrace everything. I've learnt that when I get invited to places that might not be my normal thing that I would do, I go. I might be the first there and I might be the first to leave, but I go. I don't let any opportunity pass me by.
Gail, thank you so much, and thank you for your amazing story. The imagery in it is so powerful, and I can't wait till you write more. I wish I could have read your stories from overseas too. I imagine they were very vivid and just gave people so much information and knowledge about where you were and what was happening from from such an insider point of view.
Yeah.
And I really loved your story. Thank you so much.
Oh,
Thanks,
thank
Gail.
you for inviting me here today. Yes.